All right, now we're going to take a look at Basket Case. On the CD, this song is tuned down a half step, but right now I'm just going to play in normal tuning. So you can keep that in mind if you go to play along with the CD. But for now, we're going to keep our guitars tuned normal. So we're going to start off with some power chords. And let me show you the chords first. We're going to play an E power chord, starting off 7th fret of the A string, 9th fret of the D string, and we can also add the 9th fret of the G. Okay, that gives me an E power chord. That can also be called an E5 chord. We're also going to have a B power chord, which will have the 7th fret of the E string as the root note. And then we can play on the 9th fret of the A, 9th fret of the D. Following this B chord, we're going to play a C sharp power chord. So it's the same as the E, but we're going to move down 3 frets. So the root note is on the 4th fret of the A string. Following this, we're going to play G sharp power chord, which will be the same as the B, where the root note is on the low E string, but this time on the 4th fret. So we'll have 4, A string, and D string on the 6th fret. Then we're going to move this up a half step to A, and then we're going to be back to E, finally ending the phrase on B. Now the song starts out with the vocals right away, singing the verse. And then the song also has the chorus in the intro with the vocals. So it's just guitar and vocals for the first verse and chorus. So right now I'm going to play just the first verse, and then we'll break it down, okay? So here's the first verse. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you may have noticed here, I'm using these basic power chord shapes, but what I'm doing is accenting in certain spots to make it really come alive. So there's a lot of muting going on. Now to mute, I cover up some of the strings with the side of my right hand. So this way I can control how loud or how quiet the chord is. I can have a lot of muting, or I can release my right hand just a little bit to have less muting. And I can also pick a little harder if I want to have more of an accent. So there's going to be a lot of accents in this intro here. So we'll just take it one measure at a time. In the first measure, we're going to accent on the downbeat of 1. So the first chord is going to be a little louder than the rest of the eighth notes in this measure. We're going to start off 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, could you hear that? The first chord is a little bit louder. Okay, so in the first measure, we're going to accent on the downbeat of 1. This will be with an E chord. And then on the and of 4, we're going to switch to a B chord. So I'm going to count E, and I'll go 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. When I get to the and of the 4, I'll switch to B. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. That's known as syncopation when you switch on the and, not the downbeat. The upbeat is a syncopated beat. Okay, so here's what the first measure sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to stay on this B chord, and now I'm going to accent on beats 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so if I put these first 2 together, here's what I've done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Groovy. Moving right along. Now we're going to play a C sharp chord. We're going to accent on beats 2 and the and of 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and. And then on the and of 4, we're going to switch to a G sharp chord. So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to stay on that G sharp and accent on beats 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, so let me go back now and put these first 4 measures together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now moving along, I'm going to go to an A power chord. We're going to accent on beat 2 at the and of 3, and on the and of 4, I'm going to switch to E. Okay, so here's what this measure sounds like. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, and a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now staying on the E, I'm going to accent on beats 2 and 4. So let's put these 6 measures together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, measures 7 and 8, we're going to go to a B chord. We're going to start by accenting on beat 2, and then we're going to accent on the and of 4. So we're going to have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then the next measure, while we stay on B, will be accented on beats 2 and 4. So the 2 measures of B that finish the phrase sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's go back and put those first 8 measures together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Okay, now we repeat that exact same thing. The first 6 measures are identical, so there's nothing new to learn. The 7th and the 8th measure, when we get to the B, we're going to have fewer accents. So what we're going to do here is we're going to accent on the downbeat of 1. And then in the next measure, we're not going to accent until beat 4. So in the first measure, we accent on the downbeat of 1. In the second measure, we accent on the downbeat of 4. So those 2 measures sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we have 2 phrases of 8 measures, and that'll be the entire intro verse, 16 measures altogether. So now that we've learned all that, why don't we go back and try and put it together. Play along with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. And that's the intro verse.